Today, I want to share tips on how to spot misinformation and stop the spread. Number one, don't get your news on social media. Anyone can post on there. Think Wikipedia. So follow the story back to a trusted news source. Don't repost if you don't know it's true. Help stop the spread of misinformation. Number two, social media posts are intended to get a reaction, and even the news. So if you are feeling amped up or feel what you're reading can't possibly be true, check it out. There is such a thing as rage bait. Get people angry, and people lose their reason. Number three, .org and .edu websites, along with news with trusted credentials and reporters, are a better source of information. .gov will have the government's laws. If someone is commenting on a law or policy, check it out for yourself. For example, SNAP recipients can't just go out and get fast food with their cards. It's a very rare exception for people who cannot prepare their own food. See for yourself. I have linked the USDA.gov website below. It states that to be eligible for the SNAP Restaurant Meals Program, also referred to as RPM, SNAP clients must be certified for SNAP in a state that has an RPM, and all members of the household must either be 60 years of age or older, disabled, homeless, or a spouse of a SNAP client who is eligible for the RMP. Here is an example of a news article about SNAP and fast food that edges on rage bait. Look at the title. Blue states blasted for funneling millions in SNAP cash for fast food meals. Again, I linked the article below. Many people don't even read the article. They just read the headlines and get angry. As responsible citizens, we need to read the articles and fact check them. So can some people on SNAP get fast food? It's possible, but it's not like what people are repeating. In reality, people who are unable to reasonably prepare food for themselves have an option to get a hot meal. That's a big difference. Also, if you read the article to the end and find out what is in the proposed act that Congress is trying to pass, it doesn't even stop the programs, but stops a spouse from the benefits. Perhaps the title is a bit of rage bait. The act tries to also limit where they can get hot meals to grocery stores and limit fast food restaurants. It makes some sense, except that if you have ever been homeless or worked with someone who is, you know grocery stores are not always open. Fast food is sometimes the only option available, or even an option not just for food, but a ticket to a warm place in a time of need. Some people rely on being able to walk into a fast food place and have a cup of coffee to get warm. Only paying customers are welcome. So, should SNAP be changed? Maybe, but maybe not. But here is the issue of misinformation. What these articles and posts do are demonize and overgeneralize a group of people. People on SNAP, Democrats, blue states. When people are portrayed negatively, it is easier for policymakers to get people behind policies that are harmful to that group of people or make cuts to these helpful programs. And finally, it distracts from other systemic failures, such as the prevalence of poverty in the first place. I want to reference another posting that I found on social media. It says that 500 million SNAP dollars has been spent on fast food. I will link that post below as well. See for yourself. What I'd like to point out is that sometimes the news or social medias use numbers as a shock value. However, do not fall into that trap. Let's take a look and figure out the math for ourselves. Taking a look at a credible website, the USDA.gov website lists information on how dollars were spent for SNAP benefits. Federal SNAP spending totaled $99.8 billion. So, if 500 million was spent on fast food, what is that percentage? Let's make it easy and round the total spending to 100 billion and the fast food as listed as 500 million. To find the percentage, take 500 million divided by 100 billion, multiply it by 100 to get your percentage. That's 0.5%. So in reality, 0.5% of SNAP funding goes to fast food. Is that a lot of money? It is. Proportionally, no. The statistic 500 million has shock value. The person posting this is most likely hoping readers will feel that it is a big waste of money. Numbers and statistics can be used to scare people. Some stats can be omitted or used to justify something, sometimes even without a direct correlation. Check facts, check statistics, and then cross-check them against other sources. Find out what they mean practically in everyday life. Then make a decision for yourself. Where do we go from here? Have compassion for yourself and others. We cannot always correctly spot misinformation or the manipulation of information. We must remain open to hearing other opinions and approaching people with compassion. It is important to remember we are all human, and to remember we are all getting different sources of news. You may wonder, how could someone think that? Or how could anyone be so cruel as to say that? Or, gosh, I thought my friend was the kindest person. How could they be for that policy? Perhaps they have different facts from different sources. They might not be reading, hearing, and seeing the same things. They only have what information they have to work with and base their opinions on. That is why it is so important to become informed about checking for credible sources, researching, and not giving in to rage bait. We can help educate others as well. Remember, united we stand, and divided we fall. Another great saying that I heard goes like this: hitting someone over the head with a good idea is still hitting them over the head. No one likes to be told they are wrong or to dismiss their opinion. We must lead with compassion and lead by example. We must take wisdom and empathy to create connection. The way through this is together. Because together we create our future.